farm that is so fall, you forget the other seasons. There's probably more than 100 pumpkins. Who said that's a crime? Show me where it's written.
You can like it some if you want to. I'm shy.
But I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed the build. Let's get into it. So I kind of wanted this build to look like fall threw up on it because I felt that that was the only way to make fall vibes prevalent, apparently. Have I ever heard of subtlety? Absolutely not. If you've seen any of my streams, you know that that's true. This roof barn shape thing was giving me so many issues because I was like, I don't know what a barn roof is supposed to be shaped like. And then I had to compare it to like another build that I did because I wanted it to have that vibe, but then I was like, what if the trim shows? And it was a whole situation. But anyway, it's fine. I ended up doing it with a second floor situation. That was the strategy, the strat, if you will. This is hardcore Sims gaming. We use strats around here. I was also very excited to use the red swatches from Horse Ranch because they're so bright and I haven't used them yet. I've only used like the Yeehaw beige, but that's okay. Yeehaw beige has its moment, but the moment is not here. Get out. We do bright fall colors only. That's all that's happening here. So the lore here is that I needed it to look like this one really crunchy reference photo that I found on the internet. You can actually see part of the reference image in the bottom right, just the whole video, because when I streamed this, I needed it there to remind me that I needed it to look like that. Here's the full picture if you were curious. It's not great quality, but it has the vibes that I was going for, so that's great. And I hear you asking, what is this iconic place that's so perfectly pictured here? What is that? What could inspire you so? This is a pumpkin farm in Levering, Michigan. Have I ever been to Levering, Michigan? No. Have I ever heard of Levering, Michigan before today? No, I haven't. But if you look up really niche terms like pumpkin fall farm, family owned, in the fall, pumpkins for sale, then you'll get something very specific like this. It's not even a city. It has a population of less than 1,300 people. I kept saying Levering, Michigan when I was building this because I was like, it has to look like Levering, Michigan. Guys, you need to look at the reference photo of Levering, Michigan. And then my chat was like, you should make a command to see how many times you say Levering, Michigan today. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I said it 36 times. 36 is literally like almost 3% of the population, and I'm so, oh my god. Hashtag not sponsored by Levering, Michigan. Editor's note, apparently upon looking closer, this isn't even a pumpkin farm in Levering, Michigan. It's in Johnson City, Tennessee. Just a brisk 12-hour drive or 12-day walk if you're up for it. Sincerely apologize to all Levering, Michigan fans. Anyway, so I tried to recreate the little part that you can see in the picture, and I don't know why I struggled so much with it. Like, I don't know why Levering, Michigan has this like advanced bench setup, but I needed it. The answer could also be I don't know how to think in negative space values, because that is probably also true. I had an assignment in art school where I had to walk around campus in the dead of winter and sit there and draw the negative space of people's bikes that were chained to like posts and bike stands and things like that. So I'm not saying I don't know about negative space. I'm saying I have bitterness towards it, but that's not that important. Can one be bitter towards a concept? Yes. Yes, they can. And we weren't allowed to take a picture of the bikes either because my professor was like, that ruins the perspective. And I was like, okay, it's minus 25 degrees Celsius outside. Does that not mean anything to you? But I took pictures anyway, so it's fine. That was among many silly assignments that I had in school, but that's okay. What art school is art school, you know. I feel like the assignments are very stereotypically silly. I had to do an assignment where we had to do like 3 different stages of still lives. So the first one was like a big plinth, so like a block or like a pedestal type thing, and it was just wood, and we had to draw that first. And I was like, oh, okay, I can draw like, you know, essentially a wooden cube. This is what I'm paying tuition for. I could draw a wooden cube. So I drew the cube, and then the next day a chair was put on the cube, and our prof was like, okay, now draw the chair. And we were like, wait, so like separately? And she was like, no, like draw the chair on the drawing you did yesterday of the plinth. And I was like, but then I have to erase stuff. And she's like, yeah, no, that's fine. Just erase like wherever, you know, the chair legs are so that you can shade them properly and stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I trust an eraser enough to do that, but okay. So I drew the chair. Chair looked great. Plinth looked great. Slightly weird eraser marks, but you know, whatever. And then on the 3rd day, we had a life drawing model come in, and she sat on the chair, and we were told to draw her on the chair on the same one that we had done before. So we had the plinth, then we had the chair, and then we had the model. So I had to just essentially erase basically the entire chair. So basically the previous day was like useless because you could only see like the chair legs, and I was like, awesome, the shadows are different and everything's moving and the perspective doesn't make sense, and I'm a perfectionist, so this doesn't work for me. It was a stupid plinth too. Like, on top of the assignment just being silly, the plinth was like, it was a plinth, but then it also had, it was like essentially a 4-poster plinth. If you can picture that, it had like posts on each of the corners, and then they connected at the top. I'm like, who is this for? Oh my god. And then in the same class, we had an assignment. Sorry, I'm getting excited. We had an assignment where we had to draw a black and white balloon set in color. And then we had to draw a balloon that was like pink or purple or whatever other color. And we had to draw it in black and white. So it was like reverse. I don't know what that was supposed to be teaching us, but it was in reverse. Either way, I wish I could have been drawing those foil balloons, like those Instagram artists that draw like really good foil balloons, and also like that lime picture in someone's mouth. You know the one. But I graduated, and I was so brave, and I did many other assignments like that. So I feel like I talk about this all the time on stream, but it's actually so bad. So you can't see it in my videos because it's strategically edited out so that you don't have to suffer through it. But what I was taught in school with painting was that you have to like paint things, and then every once in a while you have to like stand back and like lean back so you can see, sorry, actually just lean back, so you can see the whole thing and like get the true essence of the painting, I guess, and like maybe understand if there's any perspective issues or like proportions that aren't good. And I was like, bet. And I took that so seriously. I don't think I was supposed to do it as much as I did, but I would paint like a single paint stroke, and I would back up so far away from my painting, and I would look at it. And I would do that after like every single paint stroke. And my friends were always like, where are you going? And I was like, I need to take it in, please. I need to understand the composition as a whole, and I can't do that if I'm like 2 inches away from it with my eyeballs like glued onto the middle of it. So it was very important to me. But anyways, what I'm saying is that this translated to The Sims for some reason. I don't know why, but it's so obnoxious. I don't know how people deal with it, but I literally will place an object or like a couple objects or columns or something, and I will zoom out and I will look at it and I will turn reshade on because I need to understand the vision. The reshade thing is also edited out because it is very flashy. You would not like it sped up, I promise you. I also like to make sure that my builds are like cohesive in color and everything without reshade, just so that, you know, with reshade it looks really good, but then without reshade it looks really good too, in case, you know, not everyone plays with reshade. So I want it to look good there too. Cause let's face it, not many things in this game, you know, match very easily sometimes. That's fine, I guess. Looking at you, wood swatches, why don't you match each other? I feel like I specifically have beef with the Dream Home Decorator wood swatches that don't match any other wood swatches in the entire game. So if you're using Dream Home Decorator, you're using Dream Home Decorator and nothing else. Like, if you place an object from that down that isn't just the plain white swatch, you've like signed a contract. Like, you need it. Anyways, I'm doing the interior as like a little fun area with like activities and stuff. I made the lot type for this a park, so your Sims could like actually come here and do stuff. There's a movie projector. There's even a little sales cart thing, a stall. Not a cart, anyway. A coffee maker, some pumpkin carving stations, and so much wholesome family fun that you could probably just combust. Which, there's also a campfire, so, you know, you're not in the worst place. Anyway, this build actually got a Maxis fave, which was really cool. I found out because like 3 days after it happened, I went back to look at the comments and people were like, congrats on the Maxis fave! And I was like, what? It's actually my second one ever, so I was very excited. I really wish that the gallery was back to normal. I miss the news feed. I miss seeing when people upload. I miss seeing when Maxis favorited things because that was always exciting to see what, you know, Maxis was thinking was cool. I feel like I missed so many of my friends' uploads because of the no news tab. And also the fact that that we don't have any statistics anymore. And I want to know when someone comments on my post. Most of the time people are really nice on the gallery and I like to see it. I'm all out of gallery stats. I'm nothing without ya. I just want it back. I would say at EA I've never asked for anything, but I could probably make an itemized list. I'm not playing with the idea of spiral stairs. I need them. I need to stop using tool mod to make fake ones. Oh yeah, and I made the build family accessible. There's changing tables and toddler toilets and everything like that, so the whole family can come on over. Now we just need toddlers to spawn with their families. That'd be cool. And not just like randomly either. I feel like many times I load into a lot and there's just like a random toddler there standing with my sim, just like T-posing or whatever. And then it just disappears after like a couple seconds and I'm like, okay, bye. Hope you find your family. Like, good luck with that, little guy. And because of the way The Sims is, it's usually a toddler with like bright purple hair, blue eyebrows, at least one piece of clothing from Island Living. I remember when this game didn't have infants, and I remember when this game didn't have toddlers, because I started playing this in 2014, and I remember my sim having a child, and I don't like the newborn baby gameplay, especially back then, because your baby would just be sitting in its little, you know, carriage, is that what they're called? Bassinet, they're called bassinets, and you could like pick them up and talk at them essentially and, you know, feed them, I guess, but as soon as you age them up after however many days a sim baby is supposed to say baby for, it like they would just turn into a fully fledged child. The parent would probably be like, oh, I remember when you were a baby, it feels like it's just yesterday. And the baby was like, it's 'cause it was yesterday, Mom. Anyways, the build looks like this. Like I said, play tested and ready for your sims to hang out in. There's at least one activity for every sim out there, no matter how non-festive your sim seems. There's even a bench, like they could just sit if they really wanted to. I imagine it to be the kind of place that a child sim would get so excited because they get to go every year. So in September, they start to be like, when do we get to go to the pumpkin farm? It may not be Levering, Michigan, but it's something. Maybe also the kind of place where the pumpkins are overpriced, but it's still worth it for the atmosphere and the vibes. Oh, and it definitely has like those huge pumpkins that you beg your parents to get for you, but they never do because they're like 400 pounds. But like, it's just so big and it grew on the ground and that's just wild. Anyways, I hope you liked the build. I hope to see you in another one. And in that case, I'll see you then. Bye.